friends, have you ever wondered, what is the true meaning of life? Is it the pursuit of wealth, power, or an indescribable inner peace? Have you ever felt that despite following all the right steps, doing everything you're supposed to do, you still feel empty, like you're missing something truly important? Today, we're going to talk about a book that explores the journey of a single person's life, yet feels like it's unraveling the soul's journey of each one of us. This book is called Siddhartha, written by the German author Hermann Hesse. Though seemingly simple, it's a masterpiece that strikes deep into the heart. The protagonist, Siddhartha, is a young man living in ancient India. At first, he has everything: a privileged family background, intelligence, and the approval of his teachers. But then he makes a bold decision that most people wouldn't dare to make. He lets go of everything to embark on a quest to seek the truth. He encounters all sorts of experiences, from monks chanting in temples to wealthy merchants indulging in worldly pleasures, and even a humble ferryman guiding him across rivers. Siddhartha's journey is filled with twists and turns, both extraordinary and profound. There's one line in the book that left me truly shaken: wisdom cannot be taught, it can only be gained through personal experience. Doesn't that hit close to home? This book is like that. It uses one person's story to illuminate the fascinating contradictions and answers found in life. Are you ready to join Siddhartha on this journey to understand and experience the essence of life? Hi, everyone. Welcome to Delusion. I'm Sunshine, radiating positivity, and I'm so happy to meet you here again. Today we're talking about a book called Siddhartha. It's a journey that traverses the landscapes of life and the soul. The author, Hermann Hesse, was not only a literary giant but also a philosophical thinker and an unyielding seeker of the soul's truth. Born in Germany, Hesse later moved to Switzerland and lived through the turmoil of 2 world wars. His life was dedicated to exploring the meaning of existence, culture, and the spiritual realm. Hesse's works have a distinct style, brimming with both rational thought and emotional depth, blending elements of Eastern and Western philosophy, religion, and art. And Siddhartha can be seen as a song of spiritual exploration composed in the form of a novel. This book was first published in 1922, a period marked by intense intellectual upheaval. During that time, especially in the West, many people were beginning to lose faith in traditional religions yet felt an urgent need to find inner solace and peace. Meanwhile, Eastern thought and culture were just starting to make their way into the Western imagination. Concepts from Buddhism and Indian philosophy, among others, became fresh sources of inspiration. Hesse himself was deeply influenced by these ideas, particularly Indian philosophy, and Siddhartha is a work that reflects this fusion. It can also be seen as his response to the quest for the soul's ultimate truth. The story of Siddhartha is deceptively simple yet profoundly deep. Set in India, it follows the life of a young man named Siddhartha, tracing his journey from youthful confusion, through adult striving, to an elder's enlightenment. Condensed into this one life is a timeless question that every person asks at some point: who am I? Where am I going? What is the meaning of life? At the beginning of the story, Siddhartha is the son of a Brahmin, highly respected in his community. Yet he feels an emptiness within. The doctrines and rituals ingrained in him since childhood fail to convey the true essence of life. So, he leaves his family behind and sets out on a quest to find his own path. Along the way, he tries many things. He joins a group of wandering ascetics, giving up desires and practicing extreme discipline, yet finds no real satisfaction in this lifestyle. He encounters the Buddha, revered as the enlightened one, but even then, Siddhartha doesn't choose to follow him. Instead, he resolves to seek truth in his own way that as the story unfolds, Siddhartha experiences the full spectrum of life stages. He indulges in wealth, beauty, and power, losing himself in worldly pleasures and even suffering moral decay. At one point, he completely loses his sense of direction. However, it is precisely through these trials and tribulations that he begins to realize the meaning of life cannot be taught by others. It must be lived, experienced, and understood through one's own journey. In the final chapter of his life, Siddhartha finds himself by the side of a river, where he meets a simple ferryman. Listening to the river's voice, he seems to grasp the ultimate answer to life. Through this book, Hesse explores a profound truth. We often believe happiness or truth resides in some ultimate goal, but in reality, it is found in the countless moments and experiences we go through. It is in allowing ourselves to navigate confusion and, eventually, uncover clarity. One particularly striking line from the book is, "Among all things in this world, time is the hardest to understand." This phrase flows like an invisible undercurrent throughout the book, guiding Siddhartha to his final awakening. It's interesting to note that when Siddhartha was first published, it didn't attract much attention. Yet later on, during the rise of the counterculture movement and the growing fascination with Eastern philosophy in the West, it became a must-read classic for many young people. Especially in the 1960s and 70s in Europe and America, those struggling with spiritual discontent, whether hippies or disillusioned intellectuals, found deep resonance within its pages. The reason Siddhartha continues to transcend time and culture, touching readers across generations, is that it doesn't focus on any one specific religion or philosophy. Instead, it addresses a universal question that we all confront: how should I live this one life I have? The book doesn't offer answers outright, but, through Siddhartha's journey, invites readers to reflect on their own lives. In every stage of Siddhartha's experiences, his gains and losses, his obsessions and releases, you might catch glimpses of your own struggles. So, if you're feeling lost or searching for inner peace, Siddhartha is a book worth holding in your hands and reading slowly. It doesn't aim to tell you what's right or wrong, but accompanies you on a journey to witness the twists and turns of life, the attachments and releases, and ultimately, it leaves you to find your own answers. It's a book that truly has the power to calm and center the human spirit. Friends, today let's dive into the 10 core insights I've distilled from the book Siddhartha. These ideas are not just surface-level wisdom, they serve as guiding lights, helping us navigate the labyrinth of life with greater clarity and confidence. The first insight: follow your inner voice. This book teaches us to truly listen to our own hearts. In life, we are often influenced by the voices around us. For example, our parents may urge us to choose a secure job, friends might say, stability is what matters most, or social media trends leave us feeling like we're falling behind the times. But Siddhartha reminds us not to neglect the call of our inner voice. For instance, someone might dream of being an artist their whole life but end up working in sales to make a living, always chasing KPIs. Deep down, their heart may echo the same yearning as Siddhartha in Hesse's story, a vague sense that something is missing. The goal of life is not about fitting in, but about being true to yourself. Now let's move to the second insight: life is not just about possessing but experiencing. Many people think the goal of life is to accumulate more houses, cars, savings. But after experiencing the seduction of wealth, Siddhartha discovers that true happiness lies in experience. Have you ever been profoundly moved by something small, like how the golden light of a sunset washes away your fatigue, or how a simple smile or sincere greeting can suddenly brighten your entire day? Hesse tells us that these everyday moments are the most precious treasures of life. The third insight is this: all paths have meaning. Siddhartha's journey is full of trial and error. He becomes a monk, indulges in hedonism, enters the business world, and ultimately realizes that these paths felt like detours. But Hesse shows us that these wrong turns were necessary. Perhaps in your career you chose a path that turned out to be less suitable, but was it really a waste? because it is precisely through those experiences that you discover what truly matters to you. Every step in life, even the ones that seem off course, is helping you draw your map. The fourth point, let go of the obsession to control. Hesse uses a beautiful metaphor in the book, life is like a river. You cannot control its flow, but you can find your rhythm within it. Much of modern anxiety comes from this desire to control, controlling others' opinions of us, or planning every step of our career. Siddhartha eventually learns to adapt. When the wind comes, he dances with it. When the rain falls, he waits for it to pass. This isn't about giving up, but about embracing a kind of wisdom. The fifth insight, draw strength from failure. Siddhartha walks many failed paths, losing time and relationships, but these failures become mirrors that help him see himself clearly. In your own life, if a project fails, your first reaction might be frustration. But if you pause and reflect, you might find that failure has actually become a stepping stone, teaching you what pitfalls to avoid and how to tackle the next challenge. In Hesse's world, failure is not an endpoint but a vital part of learning. The sixth point, happiness comes from inner peace. True happiness isn't having 50 likes on a social media post or getting a promotion. It's that sense of calm within. For example, after a hectic day, you might feel a quiet joy while sipping tea on the balcony. What is that feeling? It's your inner self telling you that you don't need external validation, just these moments of peace. The seventh insight is especially fascinating. Listen to the wisdom of nature and the universe. Siddhartha has a profound awakening while meditating by the river. Hesse describes the wisdom of the flowing water. It shows us that people, like rivers, can keep moving and always find their way. When life feels overwhelming, take a moment to stop and listen to the wind. Look at the sky. The world is vast and gentle, offering gifts you might be too busy to notice. The eighth point, embrace life's contradictions. Siddhartha's life is full of contrasts. He seeks spiritual purity yet indulges in worldly pleasures. Hesse reminds us that you don't have to choose one extreme to live well. Life is inherently multifaceted. Sometimes you work hard, other times you rest. Sometimes you crave excitement, sometimes solitude. Embracing these contradictions makes life feel whole. The ninth insight, let go of destination obsession and focus on the journey. Siddhartha starts out as someone driven by the goal of finding truth. But he eventually realizes that life's truth is hidden in each step along the way. For example, if you're learning to paint, the point isn't necessarily to become a great artist, but to find joy in the process of practice. If you're only fixated on the end point, you'll miss the scenery along the way. And finally, the most heartwarming insight, love is the ultimate answer. No matter how profound or complex your pursuits may be, love is the true essence of life. Love yourself, love your family, love the world around you. Through Siddhartha, Hesse reminds us that seeing life through the lens of love can soften its edges and fill it with warmth. Now, if you've gotten this far, you may realize that the wisdom of Siddhartha isn't out of reach. It's actually woven into the fabric of everyday life. From today, try listening to your inner voice, cherishing every experience, letting go of the need to control, learning from failures, focusing on the journey over the destination, and most importantly, viewing life with love. These aren't abstract ideas from a philosophy textbook, they're tangible forces you can draw upon every day. There is a scene that remains etched in my heart, like a tranquil yet profoundly moving painting. Siddhartha's conversation with the river. When Siddhartha had fallen to the lowest point in his life, he sat alone by the riverside, watching the water flow. His heart was filled with confusion and pain, even to the point of despair. But in that moment, he suddenly heard a sound, a soft yet far-reaching call, like the pulse of countless lives resonating through the river, like the heavens and earth communicating with him in an unspeakable language. This scene is truly breathtaking. It feels as if what he heard was not merely the sound of the river but rather the flow of life itself, the whispers of the universe's essence. When Hesse wrote this passage, his language was so quiet, yet it seemed to pierce like water dripping on stone, each word carrying an immense weight. I believe this moment represents a turning point for Siddhartha and embodies the core strength of the entire book. The river becomes a symbol. It represents cycles, transformation, and also forgiveness and acceptance. From it, Siddhartha realizes that life is like the river. Even when it seems to have gone away, it continues to flow within the dimensions of time. The past, present, and future have never truly been separate. Yet we, so often consumed by our attachment to one fleeting moment of loss, forget the grandeur of the entire river. This makes me wonder, don't we often find ourselves doing the same? Perhaps it's an unfinished dream, a lost relationship, or a regret that we haven't been able to let go of. We cling to it with the desperation of someone drowning, using up all our strength, yet still feeling suffocated. But what does the river teach us? It teaches Siddhartha and us as well, through its unceasing flow. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. Rather, it's about allowing everything to return to its natural course, to let ourselves become a part of the river. At that moment, Siddhartha stops resisting, stops struggling, and he truly begins to merge with the great current of life. It feels as though Hesse is telling us that true wisdom is not about possessing but about reconciliation. Reconciliation with the world and with the depths of our own hearts, achieving a silent yet harmonious resonance. Siddhartha is a journey of the soul. It's not a textbook, yet it invites you to reflect on the meaning of life and inner exploration. If you appreciate stories like The Little Prince that are philosophical yet deeply touching, or if you are drawn to themes of self-discovery such as those in Into the Wild, then this book is absolutely worth reading. It narrates the complexities and simplicities of life in a poetic and captivating way. If you're searching for direction in life or trying to understand your inner conflicts, Siddhartha could be a helpful companion. Whether you're facing a difficult choice, experiencing loss, or simply wanting to have a quiet dialogue with yourself, this book suits all these moments. The best setting for reading might be a sunlit afternoon where rays flicker through the leaves, or during travel when everything around you is quiet, allowing you to use this book to converse with yourself. Whenever you feel anxious about a goal, try taking a different perspective. Treat the process itself as a form of reward and growth. You could record one thing every day that makes you feel grateful. Even something as simple as a leaf found during your journey can shift your mindset. Try relying less on second-hand experiences and instead immerse yourself in new aspects of life firsthand, whether it's learning a new skill or traveling alone to an unfamiliar place. When facing difficulties, remind yourself, this is also part of my journey. This kind of acceptance can bring you peace and empower you to face anything with strength. May this book accompany you through every stage of your life and guide you to become a more introspective and tranquil version of yourself. When we talk about this, it's hard not to marvel at Siddhartha's journey. It might also be a reflection of each of our own journeys. Every pause, every moment of confusion, and even every heart-wrenching struggle actually brings us closer to the essence of our lives. The river in the book flows so quietly and profoundly, almost as if it's whispering to us, reminding us that every moment is whole, and every now is worth listening to. That's it for today's episode, but I'd like to leave you with an open question. If you were Siddhartha, searching for the meaning of life, would you choose to let go and go with the flow, or would you persist and keep striving? Or perhaps your answer lies somewhere in between. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section, because every comment might let us hear the echoes of each other's lives. That's all for today. Take the wisdom from this book and go explore the river that belongs to you. See you in the next episode.